Ever run your fingers over like an intricately engraved piece of jewelry?
Hmm.
Or maybe a high-end watch? You're looking at the handiwork of an engraving machine operator.
Hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
it seems like you're interested in becoming one yourself.
Right.
We've got your stack of career resources here.
Yeah.
Mostly from this RoleCatcher platform.
Hmm.
And let's just say they're a treasure trove of info,
Yeah.
ready to unpack it all.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. The guide jumps right into the tech,
Okay.
talking about using a diamond stylus on a mechanical cutting machine.
Wow.
A diamond stylus.
That's pretty.
That sounds incredibly precise.
Yeah.
What are the advantages of using that material?
Well, diamonds are incredibly hard,
Right.
which is essential for engraving durable materials like metal.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't your average etching. We're talking about precise, deep cuts that create lasting designs.
Okay, so we're not talking about arts and crafts here.
Yeah.
This is serious business.
This is high tech.
And speaking of serious cuts, they get into blueprints and tooling instructions.
Yeah.
Can you break down those terms for us?
Sure.
And why they matter in this field?
Absolutely. Blueprints are basically the maps for the engraving design.
Okay.
They provide a detailed visual guide for the operator to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Tooling instructions, on the other hand,
Okay.
are the specific directions on how to set up the engraving machine for each unique project.
So each one's going to be a little different.
Exactly. Think of it like choosing the right size and type of chisel for a particular woodworking job.
Okay.
Each
All right.
engraving job might require different tools, depths, speeds. It's all about achieving that perfect, precise result.
It's not one size fits all.
Exactly.
So it's a blend of technical know-how and artistic vision.
Yes.
Kind of like a sculptor, but with lasers,
Mm-hmm.
or diamonds in this case.
Right.
And speaking of vision, the guide mentions that the job outlook for this career is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good field to be in.
Why is that? What's driving that demand?
Well, you've probably seen the rise of personalized goods, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
From custom jewelry to engraved electronics, people are looking for unique, personalized items.
Right.
And that's where skilled engraving machine operators come in.
Makes sense.
The guide mentions a steady increase in manufacturing demand,
Okay.
and this niche skill set is only becoming more valuable.
So the more that people want things that are custom made and unique, the more that this particular job is going to be even more in demand.
Yeah, you got it.
That's a great point. It's one thing to know how to operate the machinery,
Right.
but it's another thing to understand the nuances of design and how to execute a vision with precision.
Absolutely.
It's about mastering a craft.
Precisely. And that's where the artistic side comes into play.
Okay.
The guide hints at how engraving machine operators can get really creative,
How cool.
especially when working on custom projects.
Yeah.
They have to think about the design, the depth, the way light plays off the engraving.
Wow.
It's a lot more than just following instructions.
So you have a lot of freedom to put your own
Yeah,
artistic vision into it.
you really do.
It sounds like there's room to really put your own stamp on the work. Maybe even develop a signature style.
Yeah, like you were saying.
But let's face it, before you're adding personal flourishes, you need to get hired.
Right.
And luckily, RoleCatcher seems to have that covered too.
Okay.
What did you find interesting in the interview prep section?
Oh, man. They had some really insightful tips, I thought.
Okay.
For instance, they highlighted a common interview question.
Yeah.
How do you ensure the quality of the final product?
Okay.
It's a simple question,
Right.
but it speaks volumes about your work ethic.
It's your chance to show them you're not just pressing buttons,
Right.
that you're meticulous and take pride in your work.
Yes, and they even gave pointers on how to structure your answer,
Okay.
emphasizing the importance of highlighting your process for checking your work, your attention to detail, and your commitment to meeting high standards.
Smart. Because even a tiny flaw
Oh, yeah.
could mean starting the whole engraving process over,
Exactly.
especially if you're working with something as delicate as a diamond stylus.
Precisely. Another question that caught my eye was,
Yeah.
how do you handle unexpected changes or revisions to an engraving project?
Ooh, good one.
In this field, adaptability is key.
Oh, yeah.
Things change, deadlines shift, and you need to be able to roll with the punches.
Oh, I can relate to needing to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
Just last week, my computer decided to do a complete system update right before a deadline.
Oh, no.
Talk about a curveball.
Wow.
But back to the interview prep.
Okay.
It seems like RoleCatcher is really trying to give you a leg up in what sounds like a competitive job market.
Absolutely. And one of the coolest things they mentioned was their AI-powered interview practice tool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can actually simulate an interview
Wow.
and get feedback on your answers, your body language, everything.
Whoa, AI career coach in your pocket.
I know, right?
That's next level stuff.
It's really cool.
But it's not just about talking the talk.
Right.
They also emphasize the importance of showcasing your skills through a portfolio.
Yes, definitely.
What kind of work should someone considering this career path include in their portfolio?
Great question. They stress the need for variety. Think showcasing your ability to work with different materials, different engraving techniques, different levels of complexity.
So instead of just saying, I can use an engraving machine,
Right.
it's about showing off that intricate floral pattern you engraved on steel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to highlight any unique challenges you faced on a project and how you overcame them.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it shows problem-solving skills, which are highly valued in any technical field.
It also gives a glimpse into your thought process.
Yes.
Your ingenuity.
Exactly.
And speaking of ingenuity, remember those potential career paths we talked about? How does building a portfolio play into those aspirations?
Yeah.
Like you wanted to move into the programming side of things.
That's where you'd showcase any experience you have with design software.
Okay.
Maybe you've experimented with creating your own engraving patterns or even digitally rendering designs.
Good.
Including that kind of work in your portfolio demonstrates your interest in that side of the field
Right.
and your willingness to learn and grow.
It's like saying, hey, I'm not just comfortable with where I am now.
Right.
I'm looking ahead, thinking about the future.
Yes.
And that kind of attitude can really make a difference in a job search, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It shows ambition, a desire to learn,
Right.
and a commitment to mastering your craft.
And speaking of mastering the craft,
Right.
we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the technical aspects of using a diamond stylus to the importance of building a killer portfolio, it's clear that becoming an engraving machine operator is about more than just operating a machine.
It is.
What's the key takeaway you hope our listener is absorbing from all of this?
Well, it's about precision and artistry, and it's about a dedication to continuous learning.
It's about sweating the small stuff in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Those tiny details, those precise cuts, that's where the magic happens.
Well said. And it seems like RoleCatcher is your one-stop shop for unlocking that magic.
Right.
From understanding the skills needed to absolutely nailing that interview and building a standout portfolio. They're like a virtual career coach.
A virtual career coach with a diamond stylus. Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final thought, something to ponder.
Okay.
We've been talking about metal,
Right.
but what if you took those engraving skills
Yeah.
and applied them to other materials?
Interesting.
Glass, wood, even ceramics. Suddenly the possibilities seem endless.
It's true. Those core skills, precision, design, attention to detail, they're transferable. It's like learning a language.
Yeah,
Once you understand the grammar, you can start writing poetry.
exactly. So to our listener, if you're drawn to the world of engraving, don't limit yourself.
Right.
Explore those creative avenues. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to pioneer a whole new engraving technique
Yeah.
on a material no one's even considered yet.
Now, wouldn't that be something? Talk about leaving your mark on the world one perfectly engraved detail at a time.
Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Okay.
But remember, the learning never stops. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those ambitions high.